questions, you're going to be seen as a good journalist. Like, people are like, oh, you have really good questions. But they're not going to commit to you, and they're not going to move things forward. And that's a major issue when it comes to this idea of influence. So, we are getting short on time. So if it is okay with you, I'm going to skip the simulation and I'm going to go right into memory. Is that okay with everybody?
Sure.
Okay. I want to make sure that we get everything covered. So, the last piece is memory. And what I like to say is that if you want people to remember you more, think less. And that is language, emotion, simplicity, and structure. So here's the thing. Think about how many fantasy novels there are out there. Think about how many people have written some sort of young adult piece of children's literature. But if I ask every single person in this room to name one young adult children's literature person that immediately comes to mind, that suddenly bubbles to the top, that you see her all the time, who are you going to say?
J.K. Rowling.
Thank you. Right?
Carol.
Yes, there's always going to be outliers, right? But you're going to say J.K., right? And here's the reason. She created her own language. Shakespeare did the same thing. Tons of writers before Shakespeare, but Shakespeare is one of the only people who actually brought new words into the English language. Tons of people created sci-fi. Only George Lucas gave us very, very specific terminology around sci-fi. And here's the thing. A major opportunity for you, if you want to be remembered, is to figure out what is your catchphrase. What is your language? What is your way of saying things? Because when you use that, people will remember it. And people will ascribe it to you. It gets referred back to you. That's the idea of the referable brand, is that you are constantly being referred to because it was your idea. People are always asking that, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? And this is the thing. Most people don't take the time to try and create some piece of language around the work that they're doing, but when you do, people remember it. And it builds a tribe, because now all the people know that particular thing, so it basically causes people to be even closer to you. So the Harry Potter fans know what it is to be a muggle, and instantly have like a reaction to it, and the non-Harry Potter fans are just kind of like, that was a weird word, right? So there is an affinity that comes from the fact that you get language. Emotion. Here's the thing. Emotion solidifies memory. So if I asked you right now, in this very moment, to think of the one time that in the past week where you felt the most sad, where you just felt like dejected, really, really upset, every single one of you will probably be able to tell me the specifics. You'll be able to tell me where you were, you'll be able to tell me who you were with, you'll be able to tell me all sorts of things. And it's because the emotion solidifies our memories. So, if your message does not have emotion attached to it, and is not engaging with people's emotions, there's a very good chance they're going to forget what you have to say. Because there's too many other things out there. So the more that you can think about, how do I tie emotion into things, the more you're going to be remembered. The more things are going to stick to your head. Look at the top Oscar films. How many are tearjerkers? And how many have a moment that you can literally just like act out with your friends? Because that emotion solidifies the memory. It sticks in your head. Simplicity. If I told you, hey guys, here's 27 points in coming up with a referable brand, none of you are going to walk around and share that with your friends. But if I explain accessibility, influence, and memory, there's a very good chance that next time you're at a cocktail party, you might mention, hey, I was at this workshop and this guy talked about this thing called AIM. Have you ever thought about that? Simplicity is very, very powerful. There's a very good chance, if there's something that is not getting through to your audience, or people aren't getting it, that you have not simplified it enough. Your 10-point system can be turned into a 3-point system. Your tagline, that's 5 pages long, can be turned into 1 sentence. It can happen. It is very, very possible. But it takes effort. It takes effort, it takes a process. The last thing is structure. And the idea of structure is our brains need structure. So we don't read a book by starting in the middle and going to the back and going to the front. We can't do it. So as a result, we need to know this is a beginning, a middle, and an end. And every single thing that we remember and that we stick with and that we share and that we talk about has some kind of structure, because if it doesn't, we miss things. This is why jokes have lived for as long as they have lived. This is why jokes are so viral, right? Because a joke has a beginning, middle, and end. You know the punchline, you sort of know it pretty easily, and you can share it with other people. So anytime that there's a structure for something, it's much easier for us to explain it, it's much easier for us to understand it, and again, most of the time people don't think about structure, right? They don't say, how do we start here, start there, go here, go here. Think about it. If I had opened today with how to create a referral brand, would that have been very useful in all of the other relationship building stuff we did? No. Because you had to get to a point where you were starting to see all of these things in action and thinking about what are you going to do with all of this relationship building stuff. So this is the natural progression. And that's the thing, we often don't think enough about the natural progression. We do it with clients all the time too. How many times do you see where a client is coming to you and they want something and you're selling them something, but they need something before they really work with you? And this is a great way to find referral partners. I can't tell you the number of times where it's like, you come to somebody and you're like, wow, man, your stuff is just not together at all. You can't possibly work with me right now, right? So you say, go to this person who can get your stuff together, you know? Or go to this person who can, get a website set up, you know? I can't write you a sales page if you don't have a website, like all these things. So you look at the structure, and if you look at structure, it's gonna help people sort of understand and grasp the information that you want them to grasp. So accessibility, influence, and memory. Every time that you are working on something and you feel like it's not taking off, or you feel like people aren't talking about you, ask yourself, where am I falling down? Am I falling down on the accessibility side? Am I falling down on the influence side? Am I falling down on the memory side? Am I falling down on all three? And the more that you do this kind of stuff, the more that you really think about this, the better your messaging is going to be, and the more people are going to talk about you and be interested in talking about you and sharing your ideas and putting your ideas out there. And here's the most important thing to understand about why we share ideas. We share ideas because it makes us look good. Okay? We share referrals because it makes us look good to the people around us. So there is a motivation to share good content because it makes us look smart. It makes us look like we're in the know. It makes us look like we have lots of ideas and lots of cool people in our lives, right? It's something that we love to talk about. So if you don't make your stuff the type of thing that other people are proud to share, and you don't build your things in a way that makes everybody else look good, other people will share somebody else's stuff because it makes them look good. A perfect example of this, I tell this story all the time. Again, big question. If I asked you, TED Talks on leadership, tons of TED Talks on leadership, which person's TED Talk on leadership tends to come up all the time, and we hear about it, and people draw it, and all these kinds of things, for those of you who are TED fans? Anybody want to take a guess?
Simon Sinek.
Yep, Simon Sinek.
Oh, the why, what,
Yep.
path.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Simon not really like researched in the world of leadership. He didn't get his doctorate in leadership, like any of these types of things. He is a brilliant marketer, right? He understands advertising, and the TED Talk was nothing more than an advertisement for Simon Sinek. Because what he did was he showed you an idea that was really cool, that was very easy to transfer, that you could show off to other people. So the thing is, the reason why that talk spread was not because it built some new idea about leadership or anything like groundbreaking. The reason that talk spread was because everybody can draw a circle and look smart in front of their friends. That's what it comes down to. So if you want your stuff to be shared, you have to think about how is it going to make somebody else look good. It can't be about how it makes you look. And a lot of the time when we're selling, that's the problem. We're trying to sell and like, this is why I'm the best, this is why I'm... No. How does it make this person's life better? I have a good friend in the marketing world, and he has this great saying where he says, you are not James Bond for your client, you're Q. And I really think like that's probably one of the best ways to think about it. It's like your client is the hero, you're figuring out how to help them get to where they need to get to. And everybody that you meet in the relationship building side of things, they're the hero, and you are helping them get to the things that they need to get to. And that's how you build really great relationships. That's how you get tons of people to be interested in what you have to offer and put out there. So that's the accessibility influence memory framework. If you guys, so there's a couple of announcement type things I've got to do before I get into the final reflection. So first is that this venue is host to a thing called Podcast Row. So if, for those of you who don't know about it, it's podcastrow.com. And basically what they do is they provide an event where you can be interviewed by multiple podcasters, including people like James Altucher and a number of other folks with pretty substantial followings. And they have like a media night that they do and a bunch of other really cool things. So if you don't know about Podcast Row, they're really great people. And they have been kind enough to partner with us and work with us on a bunch of different things. There is also, in this venue, there's a comedy show tonight, and I believe the way it's structured is that you get admission, a laugh pass, and a free drink, if I'm not mistaken. So you can come back and enjoy some comedy and sort of decompress, and all that fun stuff. See somebody much funnier than me up on this stage. If you guys have, from a logistics standpoint, if you guys have any questions or there's anything you want to ask me further or talk to me more, I'm just Michael at smallpondenterprises.com. I put my email up there as well. So any questions you have, anything that I can help with, just let me know. I'm more than happy to. Okay, so the final reflection is this. What I would love for you to do is I would love for you to think about, thinking through the entire day, what stood out kind of the most for you? What was the thing that really kind of hit you pretty hard? And I'm going to ask you to keep it to one sentence. And basically, like, this is the one sentence that really kind of stood out to me. And then the second thing I'm going to ask you to do is to commit to doing something this week. And say it in front of the room. Say it in front of the room that you're going to do this particular activity this week, whether that be you're going to reach out to somebody, you're going to say thank you to somebody, etc. So I'll give you a couple minutes to just jot that down, and then we'll go around the circle, and then we'll be wrapping up.